All right, welcome everyone for the talk. The title of the class today is What Do You Really Long For? Yeah? What do you really long for? Okay, I'll start with a little story and then we'll continue. Some years ago, I met a young lady at a friend's house who had a very nervous disposition. She used to be anxious about many things, worried about many things. And so, she had a habit of biting her nails when she worried. And she had bitten them down to the quick. And some were bleeding, even her fingers. So at this friend's house, she came up to me because she knew that I was a meditation teacher. And she asked me if I had any solution for those fingernails. So I said to her, have you ever tried a little bit of yoga to calm you down, a little bit of meditation? She said, other friends have said to me that I should attempt some yoga, but I've never really taken it seriously. But now that you bring it up, I think I will give it a shot. There's a class close to my house, and I'll attend that class. So I said, great, give it a shot. I didn't see this lady for some time. Then about 9 months later, I ran into her again at a different friend's house. And she comes up to me and says, look, Master B, look at this. And I see her nails and I say, wow. So the yoga really helped because her fingers were beautiful now, no biting anymore. So the yoga really helped you, huh? And she said, no, Master B, I'm still a nervous wreck, but I'm really flexible now, and so now I bite my toenails. She didn't really get the point about joining the yoga class for her anxiety. Have you ever offered some good advice to your friend or family member only to have that advice shoved aside? Yeah? All the time. You give some good advice to someone and they say, yeah, thanks, but they have some excuse why they can't follow up.
I'm doing the shovel.
And do you do the same thing sometimes? Somebody offers you good advice and you kind of shove it away because you know better. Yeah? Okay. Why does this happen? Why aren't we receptive to good advice that can promote the quality of our lives, that can move us forward? Tell us.
Sometimes, although our logical mind tells us that yes, it is what is being said to us is the right thing to do, but there is a stubborn and an emotional side to us which wants to cling on to what we are probably doing that maybe doesn't benefit us. And so backing, and sometimes I think the emotional and the obstinate side wins.
Okay, good answer. To know another angle, apart from what you said, and that's true, just think of 2 things in life that you really long for that would really uplift your quality of existence. What do you really long for? Apart from the things that you have achieved, just reflect. 2 things you really long for. Okay, let's have some answers. What do you long for? Come on, you guys, speak up. Tell us.
Happiness with the family.
Happiness with the family. Right? Something else? Pardon me?
Getting healthier.
Getting what?
Healthier.
Healthier.
Healthier lifestyle.
Okay, healthier lifestyle. You guys don't long for anything? What? You reached? Praise the Lord. How about peace of mind? Yeah? Okay. How about more love in your life? Okay. Deeper connection with other people? Yeah? Better friendships? Do you long for these things, or these are just things you think about? Okay, very receptive audience. You'll warm up slowly, slowly. So the things that you have been thinking of that you long for, how long have you been longing for these things? Very long? There's an honest answer there. Peace of mind, greater health, more love, better relationships. Pardon me?
Keep changing the different phases of life.
Keep changing.
That's right.
Okay, but even though it keeps changing, did you achieve what you were longing for?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Okay, now if you are really longing for something, and it's been a while that you've been longing for something, then by definition it means you haven't yet achieved it. Correct? You're still longing for it. Because once you achieve it, you no longer long for it. You've got it. So these very precious realities, such as peace of mind, greater health, greater love, and so forth, why have we not achieved these priceless realities yet? Why has it taken so long? Why does it take so long? Pardon me? Please, a little louder. It's your karma. If it's not meant to be, it's not going to happen.
It will happen.
All right?
It's only because it has taken some time
Okay.
for that to happen.
Okay. Good way to look at things. Something else?
Too many distractions.
Too many distractions. Other things are more important.
I would say your immediate reality sometimes takes over those innate knowledges. You have to deal with something which is of immediate consequence, so you kind of get distracted to feel that's the immediate satisfaction you require than the one which you have to actually.
Okay. Another reason why these priceless realities stay in the longing mode is because we have not really made a serious commitment to personal excellence. There's no serious commitment to personal excellence. And because there's no serious commitment to personal excellence, other things take priority. And the most precious realities stay as a longing. Yeah? Peace of mind, greater joy, greater laughter, greater connection with other people. What does personal excellence mean to you, please?
Improving ourselves.
Improving yourself? Yeah? All right. Excellence in whatever you do. Getting better every day. Okay. I have a friend in Sydney, Australia. She works for Garuda Airlines, Indonesian. And she has a stressful job. But still, regardless of her stressful job, she's constantly smiling. She's helpful, she's kind, she's loving. And at a time when, some years ago, when lots of people in her department were getting laid off, she was getting awards and she was getting promotions. Why? Not just because of her technical skills, but because of her personal skills. She was getting awards and she was getting promotions. Everybody in the office just loves her. Even the manager comes to her to ask for some clarification in his personal or in his professional reality. Everybody just loves her. She's such an incredibly beautiful person. Personal excellence. The ability to bring joy and enthusiasm and love and laughter into your moments. That's what it's about. personal excellence. Not just about your technical skills, but about your people skills. Very, very important. Yeah? Now, why is it that most people don't really think about the importance of personal excellence? Why don't they make it their top priority? Even though we all want to have fun in life, we want to enjoy, yeah? Why is it not a top priority? Please tell. Someone who's going to say something? Come on, you guys, you have a tongue. Start flapping.
Because we have so many other things to do, like we work in a hotel, so we have other things to do.
Other things. So basically, you're saying that stress is more important.
But we have to perform, and eventually then we get stressed.
But wouldn't you like to perform? Wouldn't you like to perform in a manner that is relaxed and joyful, and you have fun, and work doesn't have to be so stressful, and you don't have to lose your hair like I have?
Yeah, even I want to work like that, but but I think that's not possible always.
It's not possible.
My boss doesn't want to.
My boss is stressful.
Not because of
Okay, good point you brought up. Thank you. Yes?
I think somewhere in the back of our head we think that if we do those small tasks,
I-
the routine tasks, maybe we're thinking in the back of our head that it's leading to that final goal of personal excellence. I think, for me, I'd say, I think that's a lie we keep telling ourselves, but we kind of make peace with it.
We'll do it later. Right now, this is the urgent thing that requires attention. Personal excellence, stress. I mean, stress is more important, and lack of stress is a little less important. So we'll keep that aside. Okay.
If there's nothing what you're doing now, doing these things.
Everyday tasks will lead to
Yeah.
It'll happen eventually. Ah, yeah. Okay. Hopefully by the time you're 60 or so. All right. Yes. Please louder. Okay. We define it as some material success. Okay. Brilliant. Very good point. Okay. To clarify this point, let me use an example. It is easy for us to identify, our physical or visible means of support. Yeah? Food, clothing, shelter, medicine, relationships, a good bank account, and so on. Yeah? It's easy to identify our visible means of support that allow us to live a happy life. But how many of you are familiar with your invisible means of support? What is your invisible means of support? You and yourself. Okay? A little more elaborate. Can you elaborate a little more? Invisible means of support?
Our own inner beliefs and our own values that we hold inside.
Brilliant. Very good.
I think the key factors or benefactors that is the invisible one, which the world does not see, which I have to look deep within and see myself.
Okay. Great. Very nice. Something else?
Related to that, your inner strength.
Your inner strength. Okay.
You can tap into your inner strength to make any situation better for yourself or people around.
Okay. You're in, yeah.
But on the contrary, we let the external environment determine so much for us that we aren't able to find inner self.
Yeah.
It can be people, it can be competition, it can be work, but we let the external factors determine every move that we would like to take, and we curb our eventual goal or eventual ambition, because we all try to so-called fit into society and be a part of the people we do as we're supposed to be.
Okay. Good point. Your invisible means of support are the personal qualities you choose to embody. Yeah? Your kindness, your generosity, integrity, intuition, yeah? Invisible means of support. There's really no other support in the world that can allow you to experience life at its best apart from your personal qualities. And yet, we do not really make time to nurture these personal qualities, which lead to personal excellence and a happy, joyful, beautiful life. Let me give you an example here. Suppose you're at a restaurant, a beautiful restaurant like the one you have outside, and you see on the next table a couple enjoying their company, yeah? And then, as you're eating with your friend, from the corner of your eye, you notice this huge cockroach fly out from the garden and land on the gentleman's hand. How will he respond? Woo! And he brushes it off. And the cockroach goes and flies and lands on the lady's hair. How will the lady respond? Oh my God! Yeah, she goes a little haywire. So this is the scenario happening. The gentleman has flicked off the cockroach with some disgust, and now the cockroach is on the lady's hair, and she's going haywire. And just then, a waitress comes and gently takes the cockroach in her hands and takes it away. Now the question for you is, why did these two people respond to that cockroach in that particular manner? It was unexpected.
It's also somewhat reflex. If it was a beautiful butterfly, then we have to in the sky.
Absolutely. If it was a butterfly, oh, how nice. But cockroach, no, we don't want it. So was it the cockroach really that created this negative response from the two of them? Was it the cockroach? Not the cockroach. So what was it? Their inner beliefs about a cockroach being something disgusting, possibly. Yeah? What created that negative response from both of them was the fact that they were not in touch with their strengths. Had they been in touch with their strengths, they would have viewed that reality very differently. This is your invisible means of support. Now the cockroaches, this example is basically about challenges. The cockroaches in life come to us unexpected. These challenges, we cannot stop them from coming. In our journey through life, no matter how much you want to minimize those challenges, you can't. They'll come whenever they come. And is it really in your best interest to run away from your challenges, or to fight your challenges, or to deny your challenges? Is it in your best interest to do that? No. It's in your best interest to face your challenges, look at them squarely in the face, and to read the message in the difficulty so that that difficulty does not repeat itself again. Is that right? That's the best way to face challenges. To be calm enough, centered enough in your power to read the message in the difficulty and learn from the experience, so that you don't invite that experience into your life again. Maybe another challenge will come. Are you understanding? These cockroaches appear all the time in the form of challenges. And if you're not really in touch with your strengths, then you will constantly be on an emotional rodeo, up and down, mood swings. Challenges come in family situations, challenges come in the workplace, challenges come when you're outside somewhere, they come. And it is in your best interest to make time to long for personal excellence, because personal excellence really safeguards you from the difficulties in life. Let me just point out two challenges which we don't really consider very much. It is one thing to fall in love with somebody and to marry them, that's one thing. But it's another thing altogether to stay in love in that marriage. Another thing altogether to stay in love in that marriage for the end, till the end of your life. To really cherish and nurture your partner, regardless of how weird they may be. That's the challenge. How many marriages, after a while, the love fades and it's just two people living together? Sad. Another example. It's one thing to be blessed with a beautiful job like what you have here, one thing to be blessed with a great job, and another thing altogether to ensure that that job doesn't drain your zest for life. Another thing altogether to approach your job in a manner in which you stay vibrant and joyful and laughing altogether. How many people go home exhausted from their jobs? How many people go home resentful of what they have to do in their workplace? Are you understanding? These are challenges, big challenges, and we're not really seeing the importance of being in touch with our strengths to face these life's challenges correctly. There are two other very important benefits that come from nurturing the inner world. Two other incredibly great benefits. Although you may be good in what you do, although you may be very talented in what you do, and you may really enjoy what you do, if it is not really your calling, you won't get as much satisfaction out of it as if you were really in touch with your calling. You understand what I'm talking about, the calling? You were born for a specific purpose in this life. In this birth, there's a specific thing that only you can do to contribute something of value to society. Nobody else can do it for you. But it's not just your talents, not just what you're good at, not just what you like doing, that may not be your calling. And you can know that because after a certain time, you get bored with what you're doing. If it is your calling, you will not be bored till the end of your days. Are you understanding here? Yeah? So when you really dedicate it to personal excellence, it allows you to discover your calling. And let me tell you, that's one of the most incredibly, most precious gifts you can give to yourself. In 1994, a friend of mine introduced me to a lady called Sherry. In December 1994, I was introduced to Sherry. Sherry worked in the airlines also, Gulf Air. Lovely person. Now, she was the top secretary to the guy in charge of entire Gulf Air in India. She loved her work, and although she was great at what she was doing, she knew that there was something else that she needed to do with her life, but she just couldn't put her finger on it. Then she came to my classes, she loved the classes, and then within 3 months, she felt drawn to the healing modalities, Reiki, pranic healing, massage therapy, and so forth. She was drawn to that. And she tested it out, she started healing other people, she started doing things, and she found incredible joy in that healing work. And she also found incredible joy in attending my classes and wanting to work with me. So in the beginning, she volunteered part-time. But then the amount of joy she was getting, she quit her job in 1998 and started working with me full-time. She's my personal assistant. At present, she's in Bombay. Over 20 years we've been together, great friendships. Now she discovered her calling because she was willing to do the inner work. Unless you really make time to discover your strengths, unless you really make time to discover who you really are and what you are called to do, trust me, once you reach 50, if you haven't really discovered your calling, it can be a little bit tricky for you. But it's there. The information is there. It's encoded in your cellular memory. The information is there. But you need the access codes. You need the access codes to open that memory. Why are you here? What are you here to do, really? What is your best contribution that you can make to the planet? Are you getting this point? When you're dedicated to personal excellence, then this is one incredibly great benefit. And another great benefit is this. Are you aware of the countless numbers of people on this planet who are dedicated to self-sabotage? Yeah? People who are caught up in gambling, people who are caught up in substance abuse, people who are caught up in other destructive behaviors that don't really serve them, even procrastination. Yeah? So, the function of being dedicated to personal excellence is that it safeguards you. It's your refuge. It safeguards you from making choices that are not in your best interest. It safeguards you. If you're not really interested in personal excellence, you'll be drawn into this addiction, you'll be drawn into that thing, you'll be drawn into things because you don't really have a clear compass of where you're heading. No clarity as to where you're really heading. You just time pass. Make sense? A little bit? Okay. It's a safeguard. So, how do you really commit to personal excellence? How do you cultivate it? Any ideas? What has to happen for you to live the life you were meant to live? To bring joy and love and laughter into wherever you are? What has to happen?
Envision.
Pardon me?
First thing you have to do is envision it, see yourself living that.
Brilliant. First thing, you have to envision it. See yourself living that life. Okay? And then the second thing is? Work towards it. Okay?
Primarily acceptance of life.
To accept life.
To accept who you are and what you are and how you are.
Okay? And then, is that all?
That's the first step where you try and understand who are you as an individual to then try and improve yourself towards the goal you would like to achieve. Because all of us in this room may not all of us will certainly not be the same. So we individually may have different ambitions and different goals. Very important to understand our own self before we try and get out to the moon.
Okay, and what is the process of understanding yourself? You stay tuned. Okay, really the question is quite simple. If you want to get good at anything, whether it is in sports, whether it is in music, in business, in the service industry, anything, if you want to get good at anything, what's required? Pardon me? Just practice? Action. Just action? Commitment. Commitment to what? Okay, but there's something else. Pardon me? Commitment to yourself. Okay? You need passion, definitely. Personal involvement is required. Okay? Now, before you got accepted, before you qualified to be here in your different fields of expertise, What happened? What process did you go through?
We made a choice
To do what?
to be a part of this.
How did you qualify? Interview? It's amazing, huh? It's right there. If I tell you, you'll say, oh my God. Yeah. Okay. To be good in anything requires learning. You qualified to be here because you took a particular class in that particular field. You were passionate about learning, and learning equates with study and practice. Not just practice, study and practice, the theory and the practicals. That allows you to qualify. That allows you to excel in your particular field, in anything, learning. And yet, even though it is obvious, even though it's so logical, it's the last thing we think of. That we need to commit to learning. It's not by yourself that you learned how to be here. You went to a particular school or college. You were trained. You went through a particular period of time to qualify. And then you acquired the expertise, then you applied, and you were taken in for this particular job. Yeah? Nothing abstract here. Nothing abstract. Okay, I'm going to ask you another question. Stay tuned. Suppose you are a great pianist, okay? Lots of learning, lots of practice, okay? Suppose you're a great pianist, and there you are, about to perform in front of an audience of 500 people. Okay, lights are on you, yeah. And then your fingers start to dance on the keyboard, and you bring out this incredibly divine sounds from the piano, and your audience is enthralled. They're enchanted with the music that they're hearing. Then when you finally finish, you have a standing ovation from everybody, and you feel so good about yourself. The question is, where did that music come from? Think before you answer. Where did that music come from? Where did that divine, absolutely heavenly music come from? Please tell.
Within yourself,
It came from within yourself. The piano had nothing to do with it.
you're translating your feeling, passion into what you were doing. You were focused into what you were doing.
Okay?
Portrayed, it showed.
Okay, so now you're very close to the answer. Now just say it correctly in a proper sentence. Where did the music come from?
Within yourself.
Is that a full stop afterwards? Within yourself, full stop? Yes.
What you have learned and you combine it together and figure out the piano and
You're close.
moving with the sense of what you feel sounds right and if you feel yourself,
Not quite.
The piano acted as a,
Pardon me?
the piano acted as a vessel to your learning,
The piano was a vessel.
for your learning,
Okay.
for skills that you have.
Brilliant.
Maybe it was just the faith that he had.
It was his faith.
Or in the practice that he had.
Okay? Right? The music emanated from the confluence of the two. It's not in the piano. By itself, there's no music in the piano. It's not in you either without the piano. Are you understanding? It's always in conjunction, always in confluence of the two. And the fact that you have trained, you have learned, you put in the years, you put in the hard yards to gain mastery over that instrument. Because the music Without that mastery, will not come out from you. That divine sounds will not come out from you. If you have no mastery, a novice will not be able to produce those sounds. So the music has emanated from years of skill combined with the instrument. Correct? Okay. Now, the function of learning how to be at your best, how to be extraordinary, the function of learning how to be extraordinary is to produce music not out of the piano, but out of your moments. Are you understanding? So that even if you're in the traffic jam or jelly, it's not an occasion for being bored, for being restless, for being abusive. That's not an invitation for that. Even in a difficult scenario, because of your skill, because of your dedication to personal excellence, you can make music out of that difficulty, out of that situation. Because really the joy is not out there, it's in what you bring into the experience. Extraordinary results come from being an extraordinary person. Are you understanding? It doesn't come from being an average person. You want extraordinary results. You want to be healthy for as long as you can possibly be healthy. You want to be in love, you want to laugh, you want to enjoy your life to the fullest. You were not born really to be in a job situation that stresses you out day in and day out. That's not what you were called to do. You're here to enjoy your life. You're here to celebrate your life. But the only way that you will be able to celebrate your life is if you are dedicated to personal excellence. Extraordinary results come from being an extraordinary person. And this requires learning, theory and practice. If you're not dedicated to learning, it's difficult, very difficult. For me to be here today and offer you this little talk, I went through lots of learning, lots of practice, years of practice, before I could be in the position to offer clarity to others. Before, I didn't have the clarity, but I went through the period. I went through that process of learning. And you are all capable of going through the process of learning and bringing out the treasures that are within you, which at present you don't have the access codes to. The learning offers you the access code. You bring out the treasures that are just waiting to emerge. Okay, running out of time. So, that's all I'd like to share with you today. Do you have any questions? Yes?
It's going to be extremely personal, but it's been 6 years and I've stayed the way I am. I'm really thin.
Okay.
I keep telling myself, how can I put on weight?
Okay.
No matter what I eat, how I eat, where I eat, what I eat, it doesn't seem to reflect on my body.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's my energy or what I think, but what is it that I could personally do to try, apart from exercise, and obviously there are big things, to try and put on some weight, because I see that as a key area of improvement for myself.
Actually,
I'm sorry.
No, it's nothing to laugh about. It's an important question, yeah.
Because it's like people call it fat shaming, I find it thin shaming for myself. Sir, I've been like this for the last 6 years of my life. No way I've ever put on weight. And it's disappointing. It's extremely to walk into a shopping center and find no t-shirt that fits me. It's frustrating.
Well, some people's metabolism could be like that. That's one thing. Another thing is, are you usually a relaxed person or do you get stressed?
I'm enthusiastic, everyone I'm stressed.
You're enthusiastic and you're not stressed.
He's a hyper-TV form.
You're,
He's always vibrating. Not that extreme, but yes.
that burns a lot of calories. Okay, thank you. I don't know how to answer that question really. Maaf kijiye.
You talk about the access code.
Hi.
What exactly do you do? What does one do? What does one do to have an access code?
What does one do to gain access to the access codes? Yeah, get the right coding. How much stillness is there in your life? How much? Not when you're dozing. Okay? Do you make time in a given day, from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, is there any dedicated time to just being quiet? Just being with yourself, to allow the inner you to really talk, and instead of your intellectual mind just going, I have to plan this, I have to do that. How much stillness? So in the absence of that stillness, there's no way you can access those codes. No way. So the function of meditation is the function of allowing you to be by yourself, in your company, enjoying your company, not being bored with yourself, and letting the wisdom inside of you talk. That's the function of meditation. And especially the function of being able to sit like this. Yeah? I don't sit like this just for show. I sit like this because it is a scientifically proved position that allows for stillness to occur in the mind. The way you guys are sitting, this Western style of sitting is well, it keeps you constantly moving. I've been sitting like this for an hour, no pain. Forget no pain. It produces joy in the body. It produces joy in the body and allows you to be quiet enough for the wisdom which you are born with to talk to you. So there's ways to do things. This is just for 1 hour talk. If you want to learn more, there are classes. Stay tuned. Sign up now. Any other question? Okay, so if you can sit quietly for just maybe 2 minutes and reflect on the important point you got out of this talk. And then maybe a few people can share. I don't know if you can go through the whole crowd, but a few people can then share the important point you got from this little talk. Yeah? Okay, sitting quietly for 2 minutes. Back straight, shoulders loose, head balanced. And breathing well from the abdomen if possible. Not so much from here, but more from here. Okay. Who would like to share? Those who don't want to share, share. Come on. Come on, come on. Something you got out of it, or was it totally boring for you guys? Pardon me? Hi. When it's your calling, yeah. Because then you are not working only to make a living. You're working to celebrate life. Yeah? Right. What else? Yes?
Also, the example that you gave of cockroach,
Mm-hmm.
that's really true for so many situations in our life where we react to certain things because we're just conditioned to. react towards it, we don't give it more thought, or we don't give it a little more perspective, or look at from another point of view, or another person, or we rarely think from that person's perspective. So I think that's something we might do. And we probably need to, but before reacting to any situation, we need to do it.
Okay, very good. Yeah?
Prioritize rather than procrastinating what you long for.
Okay. Because you see, if we're just longing for certain realities without the learning that gets us there, it's not going to happen. You're wanting the fruits, but you have to cultivate the roots. You have to cultivate the learning that gives you the know-how to manifest those fruits. Otherwise, the longing will stay your whole life. Something else?
What? Which came to my mind that was, I think all of our lives are multi-dimensional. We have different dimensions in our lives.
Okay.
In all these dimensions, we have different longings. And these dimensions take control of our immediate actions at that particular day or that particular moment. So longings are not something, at least for me, which is very common. Today it could be something else, tomorrow it can be something else, 10 years down the line, might be something else.
As long as you achieve those longings.
I don't achieve those longings. But during the path of life, certain longings you don't achieve, but those don't remain so important to you because you have overcome those. You have walked a different path of life.
Okay.
Okay, that's.
But there are certain primary longings we all share in common. We all want to be healthy. Nobody wants ill health. We all want super relationships. Nobody wants average, lukewarm relationships. Yeah? We all want to be really joyful in our jobs, not stressed out in our jobs. Yeah? These are basic longings which we have. But where is the learning that gets us there? Anything else? All right, so thank you all for being here and for listening. Hopefully I'll see you again.